And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Boshemer Gymnasium on the campus of Brevard College. Glad you're able to join us for this inaugural journey of the 2024 Brevard College Tornadoes. First appearance at home for the Tornadoes volleyball team under the direction of Abby Pardee in her third season at the helm of the Tornado volleyball program. New assistant coach Eric Freed on the scene as well. And looking forward to getting the home slate going for the Tornadoes. The Tornadoes started the season at the Maryville Invitational in Maryville, Tennessee last weekend. What a start to the season. A 2-0 start, winning both matchups on Friday. Back-to-back wins, a 5-setter over Concordia, Chicago, and that was followed by a 4-set win over the host, Maryville. And then had to turn around the very next day, came up against two very tough teams from out of the state, Hanover and Wisconsin Lutheran. And those two defeats evened up the record for the Tornadoes at 2-2 through the first four matches of the season. Tonight's opponent, the local rival Warren Wilson, the Owls, making the trip from Swannanoa. You can count on it year in, year out that these two teams tend to match up, and looking forward to seeing the Owls in action. They are 0-2 to start their season. Tornadoes' strong freshman class. 9 freshmen on the roster for the 2024 Tornadoes. But you combine that with some key veterans who are back. Names like Ashley Hoxett, Bailey Lance, McKenna Parkins. And those are the seniors alone, along with Justine St. Louis and Melanie Hoyle, two more parts of that senior class. Junior Jackson Tamicki returns. And then sophomores Justine Thomas, Lily White, Luis Rodriguez, and Mary Valentine. So a lot to look forward to in this 2024 season. And we'll have the first broadcast of the year and the first matchup for the Tornadoes on their home court after several weeks of preseason volleyball to get ready for this moment. Glad you're able to join us. Stick with us all evening long. It'll be Brevard versus Warren Wilson. Volleyball from the Bosch. Counting down the minutes to the start of Brevard versus Warren Wilson volleyball action at the Bosch, the home opener for the Brevard College Tornadoes. A lot of excitement in the air. Stick with us. Tornadoes and Owls coming up shortly. Very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Boshamer Gymnasium on the campus of Brevard College for tonight's volleyball matchup between the Warren Wilson Owls and your Brevard College Tornadoes. Let's meet the starting lineups. First for the Owls, number 4, Vera Pandolfo. Number 7, Samantha Daniels. Number 9, Josie McCoy. Number 12, KJ Helensky. Number 13, Pandora Keel. Number 15, Alyssa Collins. And number 19, Aubrey Wakachacha. The coach of the Owls is Christy Kamer. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Brevard College Tornadoes. Number 2, Emma Fontana. Number 5, Izzy Boulay. Number 6, McKenna Parkins. Number 11, Bailey Lance. Number 12, Ashley Hoxett. Number 13, Caroline Moon. And number 25, Jackson Timicki. Tornadoes are under the direction of head coach Abby Pardee. Assistant coach is Eric Freed. And the athletic trainer is Jacob Tudgy. Ladies and gentlemen, prior to tonight's national anthem, we ask that you please rise and join us in a moment of special remembrance. Tonight's event here at Brevard College is an Orange Out game dedicated to the memory of 2 Rossman High School football student athletes, Jaden Ronaldo and Lane Jones, whose lives were tragically lost in a recent accident. Our prayers are with the family and friends of Jaden and Lane, along with the entire Rossman High School community. Please join us in a moment of silence in memory of Jaden Ronaldo and Lane Jones. Thank you. Now please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Good luck to both teams. Tornadoes and Owls coming up next. So starting lineups have been introduced here at the Boshamer Gymnasium, ready for volleyball as the Tornadoes and the Owls just moments away from getting things started here. Home opener for the Tornadoes. A special moment of silence before the game for the 2 lost Rossman High School football student athletes, tragically lost in a recent accident. Jaden Ronaldo and Lane Jones. Nearby Rossman High School has been in the thoughts and prayers of so many folks here in the region. And proud of Brevard College making this a special evening in remembrance of Jaden and Lane. Worth mentioning as well, Ashley Hoxett, who's part of that starting lineup, a graduate of Rossman High School. So Tornadoes starters, Emma Fontana, McKenna Parkins, Ashley Hoxett, Caroline Moon, Jackson Timicki. Bailey Lance is the libero. Izzy Boulay, the setter. Meanwhile, Warren Wilson, Vera Pandolfo, Samantha Daniel, Josie McCoy, KJ Helinski, Pandora Keel, Alyssa Collins, and Aubrey Wachacha. Wachacha, part of that front line, along with Keel. Point Tornadoes. So opening point of the 2024 season goes to the Tornadoes. Great job there. Set things up for Parkins. And then an ace. Tornadoes ace. So an ace there from Ashley Hoxett. And just like that, a 2-0 lead for the Nados. Great start for Brevard College here early on. Home opener. And another ace. Tornadoes ace. So a quick 3-0 lead, and the Hoxett service will continue. Handled this time by the Owls. And a big block there. McKenna Parkins with the finish. Point Tornadoes. And the Tornadoes run out to a 4-0 lead. The Hoxett service will continue. Parkins and Hoxett, two of the veterans on this roster. Hoxett sends it over. Here's an opportunity for the Owls. Nice dig there for Brevard. Izzy Boulay sends it over. Longest rally so far between these two teams. Now big hit there for Brevard. Casey Wampler. Another big hit. Great dig by the libero of Warren Wilson. Josie McCoy, really nicely done. Point Owls. And the point goes to Warren Wilson. So Warren Wilson able to get on the board. 4-1 your score. Service here from Lillian DeMeglio. Tornadoes in their home white jerseys. Blue trim. Black shorts. Blue numerals, blue lettering. Meanwhile, Warren Wilson in the green jerseys with the blue sleeves and blue shorts. Little bit of discussion here, perhaps about the rotation for Warren Wilson. A little bit of confusion. I want to make sure the correct player is taking their turn at the service position. There's a whole rotation that needs to be followed. Checking with the scorers table now. Hot start for the Tornadoes, up ahead 4-0. And then best rally so far goes the way of the Owls. Credit the block earlier as a two-person contribution between McKenna Parkins and Emma Fontana. It was a big-time play that put the Tornadoes up 4-0. Back-to-back aces by Hoxett as well. Still trying to sort things out here with the rotation. Both sides getting a little anxious here. Long break in the action. One of the officials still at the scorer's table. Captain's talking to the other official. Well, at some point, we'll have some volleyball underway here. Do want to mention the reserves men's soccer team will be in action this evening. That's a 7 o'clock start at Islamel Family Field, their season opener. The women's soccer team, what a win last night, 6-0 over Agnes Scott in their opener. And the men's soccer team will have their opener on Saturday, 3 p.m. versus Averett. All right, we got it all sorted out. Lillian DeMeglio with the service. It's a jump serve handled by Hoxett. Here's Wampler with the hit, but it's wide. Point Owls. So a couple of attack errors have given the Owls 2 consecutive points, cut the Tornado lead in half. And credit the point there. Slamming the door shut there was Helinski. Point Owls. And just like that, 4-3. So 3 consecutive points for Warren Wilson. And a service error there. Point's going to go to the Tornadoes. Point, Tornadoes. So first service for the incredible service ace, all-time leader for the Nados, Bailey Lance. And almost had another ace there right on cue. Meanwhile, here's Tamicki with the attack. Somehow, some way, kept alive by the Owls. Really nicely done on that back line. Then a big hit from Parkins and the finish, McKenna Parkins. Point, Tornadoes. Big time finish there for McKenna Parkins, the 5th-year senior out of Marion, North Carolina, dual sport student athlete. What a career she's had here in a Tornado uniform. Point Owls. Meanwhile, service error there is going to give the service back to the Owls. 6-4 your score, Tornadoes on top. Early goings here, set number 1 of the home opener for Brevard College. Hoxett dug up there by the Owls. That was Pandora Keel. And that time, nice dig by Pandolfo. But again, slamming the door shut was Parkins. Point, Tornadoes. And that'll bring into the contest Kylie Catcher. First look at Catcher here at this home 2024 season. Sophomore from Peyton, Colorado, Falcon High School. You see her in this spot here. Catcher with the service. And the finish for the Nados. Point, Tornadoes. And the lead extends to 8-4. Credit that kill to Jackson Tamicki. She's been active early on here. Big serve there from Catcher puts the Owls on their back heels. Here's Hoxett. Block attempt there ends up going wide. Another point for Brevard. Point, Tornadoes. 9-4 your score now. Point Owls. Big hit there from KJ Helinski, the senior from Jacksonville, Florida. Tornadoes 9-5. And Emma Dederick wears number 1. She's into the match for the Owls. Another kill for Tamiki. Point Tornadoes. And that'll bring up Caroline Moon, the freshman, making her collegiate debut on the floor of the Boshemer Gymnasium. Out of Woodstock, Georgia, River Ridge High School. Some more discussion at the scores table. Make sure rotations, substitutions, everything in order. And now we're ready to go. Caroline Moon with the service. Dug up there by DeMeglio. Big hit there is going to sail long. Point's going to go to Brevard. Point Tornadoes. So the Moon service will continue. Point Owls. So it looked like a violation there on the NATOs. And the point's going to go to Warren Wilson. Andy Eggleston in place to handle the service for the Owls. She's a freshman from Gainesville, Florida, Buchholz High School. A lot of great athletes across the world of sports have come out of Buchholz over the years. Bit of a Florida presence on Warren Wilson's roster. Key West, Jacksonville, and Gainesville all represented. Meanwhile, big hit there from Hoxett, but just long. Point Owls. I'll have to credit Warren Wilson after being down 4-0, hanging around here. Kept the lead right there at 4 for Brevard. He just hasn't been able to string together too many points to pull away. Point Tornadoes. Finish there from Tamiki, and she'll handle the service. Speaking of the state of Florida, Jackson Tamiki, the junior out of Brandon, Florida, Bloomingdale Senior High School. Brandon not too far from that Tampa St. Pete metro. Tamiki's been a factor so far, most certainly. 3 kills already. Point Owls. Service error there is going to bring the Owls back to 4-point deficit. Here's Moon. And Moon able to place that nicely. Point Tornadoes. Very nicely done. Caroline Moon, the freshman, saw the opening and able to find that one part of the Boshemer Gymnasium floor. Service here from Izzy Boulay, the exciting freshman for the NATOs out of Noonan, Georgia. Point Tornadoes. And first service from Boulay is a winner, and the Tornadoes able to extend the lead to 6. This could be the moment where they can string together a couple more points here, can perhaps pull away here in set number 1. Moon with the dig there. Lance keeps it alive. Here's Hoxett. Dug up there by the libero McCoy for the Owls. Hoxett once again. Big block there. Vera Pandolfo for the Owls. Point Owls. And Pandolfo will be rewarded with a service opportunity here. 14-9 your score. Set number 1. Home opener for the Brevard College Tornadoes. Lance. Big hit there, and the finish. Emma Fontana. Point Tornadoes. Emma Fontana, folks. Big time finish there, the freshman out of Simpsonville, South Carolina. Went to high school in the state of Nebraska. Now that is fertile ground for the sport of volleyball. Head coach Abby Pardee, a Nebraska native herself, and understands that brand of volleyball so well. And Hoxett will handle the service. Parkins able to keep it alive. And attack error there. Another point for the Tornadoes. Point Tornadoes. Timeout on the court. So a timeout on the court as Brevard with a 16-9 lead. Jackson Tamicki has led the attack with 3 kills. McKenna Parkins has 2 kills. Also credit a kill to Fontana, Hoxett, and Moon. A pair of aces from Hoxett as well. Who else but the setter Izzy Boulay leading the charge with 8 assists, so leading the Tornadoes in distribution. Defensively, Hoxett has 3 digs, and Parkins and Fontana combined for a block early on. Warren Wilson, meanwhile, Holinsky with 2 kills has led their attack. 3 digs from Pandolfo. They've made some nice plays defensively, the Owls. Coming out of the timeout, see if the Tornadoes can extend this lead even further. 16-9, their advantage. And service here from Hoxett. Point Tornadoes. So a point there for Brevard College. Point Owls. So the Owls with the service here 17-10 the advantage for the Tornadoes. On that back line, Parkins, Hoxett, and the libero Bailey Lance. So a lot of experience back there on that back line to handle this service. And nicely done there. The finish from Parkins. Point Tornadoes. And Bailey Lance will handle the service. Students starting to make their way into grandstands here at Brevard College Gymnasium. Dug up there by Hoxett. Attack by Casey Wampler. Tamicki with a block. And then another block. Parkins getting up high. Point Tornadoes. Big time finish there. 19-10 now your score. Set number 1, and the Lance service continues. Hoxett. Boulay setting up Tamicki. Lance with a beautiful dig. Now here's Wampler. Nicely defended by Warren Wilson's Keel. Then the point for the Owls ultimately. Point Owls. So service now for Keel. Sophomore from Shelbyville, Tennessee. Dug up there by Hoxett. And it's going to be an ace for the Owls. Point Owls. Hoxett. Parkins this time. Big time dig there by Pandolfo. And point for the Tornadoes. Nicely done there, Casey Wampler. Point Tornadoes. Substitute for the Nados. Once again, Kylie Catcher entering the contest to handle the service. The Colorado native, Catcher. Point Owls. Finish there for Warren Wilson. And that'll bring up Emma Dederick, handle the service. Native of Key West. Key West, also known as the Conch Republic, where mile marker 0 on US 1 is. You know. But Emma Dederick's made her way to the mountains here in western North Carolina. Meanwhile, service error there. Point Tornadoes. 21-13 your score. And the service here for Caroline Moon. Exciting freshman for the Nados. Nicely dug up by Moon, right on cue. Here's Hoxett. Nice job defensively by Warren Wilson. Alyssa Collins in the middle of that. And the point will go to the Owls. Point Owls. Tornadoes 21, Owls 14. And Andy Eggleston will handle the service for WWC. Local rival of the Nados out of nearby Swannanoa, North Carolina. Serve here, handled by Catcher. In a nifty Move there by the setter, Izzy Boulay. So deceptive. Point, Tornadoes. Really nicely done, Izzy Boulay. What a sensational start to her collegiate career she's had. Big part of those 2 victories 6 days ago up at the Maryville Invitational in Tennessee. Service there long. Point, Owls. As Tornadoes are starting to inch their way closer and closer to a first set victory, but need to get these final few points. Nice rejection there from Pandolfo. She's been solid on the defensive end. And the finish there for Warren Wilson. Point, Owls. Attack here from Samantha Daniels. Some long deliberation on who won this point. Going to one of the linesmen now. Point, Owls. And the point ultimately goes to the Owls. Took a long time to figure out the result of that point. 22-17 your score. Hoxick takes control of the situation. Point for the Nados. Point, Tornadoes. So Tornadoes now 2 points away from a first set victory. Izzy Boulay, the freshman setter, will do the honors. Boulay. See if she can will the Tornadoes these final 2 points. Beginning with her serve. Jump serve from Boulay. Dug up there by Helinski. Hoxitt somehow kept it alive, but it's wide. Point, Owls. And the Owls able to earn the point. Opening service here from Vera Pandolfo. (23-18) your score, and make it set point for the Nados. Point, Tornadoes. Set point, Tornadoes. So set point opportunity for the Nados, and Ashley Hoxitt, who started off this match with the service. Opportunity here. Nifty decision there by Pandora Keel. Point, Owls. Set point, Tornadoes. Remain set point. 24-19 your score. Lillian DeMeglio with the service, trying to keep the Owls alive here in this first set. Lance. Point, Owls. So the Owls able to continue to extend this first set, 24-20. And the Tornadoes win set number 1, 25-20. Set number 2 coming up next. So Brevard able to get that finish there and to go ahead 25-20 and win that first set over the Owls. 1-0 lead for Brevard College. Head to set number 2 in just a moment. Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium, a 1-0 lead for Brevard College. Do want to mention a very special moment before the match and also a theme throughout the evening. It's the Orange Out game dedicated to the memory of 2 Rosman High School football student athletes, Jaden Ronaldo and Lane Jones, whose lives were tragically lost in a recent accident. The Rosman High School community has been in mourning, and the area has really rallied behind Rosman High School in support of what that community is going through. And here at Brevard College, a great tribute to the Rosman High School community and in remembrance of Jaden and Lane, 2 football student athletes who were tragically lost in recent weeks. Appreciate everyone coming out wearing the color orange to support the cause. And also worth mentioning, Ashley Hoxett, the senior star for the Tornadoes, a Rosman High School alum. So certainly a major connection there. The Tornadoes wearing orange hair ribbons as part of the tribute as well. So nice stuff in terms of Brevard rallying behind this important cause for the local community. So many people still grieving and mourning from the loss of those 2 football student athletes at Rosman High School. Well, back to the action here at Brevard College. And starting things off with the 1-0 lead now, Izzy Boulay, freshman setter. Lance digs it up. Boulay now will set up Hoxett. And a violation on the Nados. Point's going to go to the Owls. Point Owls. So Vera Pandolfo will handle the service. Big hit there from Fontana, defended well. Now here's Hoxett, defended nicely by Pandolfo. Moon with a hit of her own. Dug up there by McCoy, the libero for the Owls. Point Owls. So an early 2-0 lead for Warren Wilson. And the Pandolfo service will continue. She's got team high 7 digs so far for Warren Wilson. Lance, Boulay, and then the attack from Fontana, just long. Point Owls. Point Tornadoes. So point for Brevard College, getting on the board here in this second set. Ashley Hoxett will handle the service as Caroline Moon checks out. Nice welcome and applause from her teammates for her work. Big hit there, dug up nicely. Really nicely done by McCoy on that last dig to keep the point alive for Warren Wilson. And a point there for the Tornadoes. Great eye from McKenna Parkins. Point Tornadoes. Parkins smartly just hung back and had an intuition that that ball was going to land wide, and indeed it did. Attack there and a finish. However, another violation on Brevard College. The point's going to go to Warren Wilson. Point Owls. Substitutions for Warren Wilson, and he'll bring in DeMeglio to handle the service, sophomore from Southport, North Carolina. South Brunswick High School. Great crowd on hand for this home opener. Really appreciate the support, both from fans throughout the community, and another point there for the Owls. Looked strong here in the second set. Point Owls. Dug up there by Lance. Nicely done. Hoxett now setting up Wampler. And a big hit there. Big finish for Warren Wilson. Point Owls. So Warren Wilson with an early 6-2 lead here in this second set, turning the tables on Brevard College. Wampler, well defended by the Owls front line again. Hoxett, Boulay, back to Hoxett. Dug up by McCoy. Point Tornadoes. Credit the point there for the Tornadoes. 6-3 your score. Bailey Lance with the service. Lance, the senior from Mills River, North Carolina, just up the road from Brevard. Transferred originally from Queens University, and there's an ace. Tornadoes ace. So Lance will continue her service. All-time service ace leader for Brevard College in the NCAA era. And she certainly has served her share of them here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. She got another one here in the second set. Point Owls. Owls able to respond there. 7-4 your score. Hoxit. Parkins. Boulay. And a finish there from Casey Wampler. Point Tornadoes. Well done by Wampler. Part of that freshman class that really is an exciting part of this 2024 team. Wampler, the freshman outside hitter from Blountville, Tennessee, West Ridge High School. Meanwhile, Kylie Catchers checked back in to handle the service opportunity. Big hit there, and the finish for Warren Wilson. That was KJ Helinski. Point Owls. So 8-5 your score. And service here for Dedrick. Dedrick. Big service there. Now dug up nicely by Dedrick, helping her own cause. Here's Hoxit. Violation on the Owls. Point Tornadoes. Point Tornadoes. So Caroline Moon will enter the contest. And the service from Moon. Hoxit. Boulay. Back to Hoxit. Had to really adjust there mid-motion. Hoxit once again. Great job by Hoxit to get that over, and point's going to go to the Nados. Point Tornadoes. Correction, Point Owls. So the point will go to the Owls, actually. A little bit of confusion there. So 9-6 your score here in the second set. Owls have not trailed here in the second set after the Tornadoes took a 25-20 first set victory. Dug up there by McCoy. Opportunity here for the Nados. Miss hit there, and it'll be a point for the Owls. Point Owls. Owls 10, Tornadoes 6 here in the second set. Point Tornadoes. So Brevard College able to muscle home that point on the Hoxit attack. Meanwhile, Sam Lena, another part of that freshman class from the great state of New Hampshire, Merrimack, New Hampshire native. So making her way from New England to mountains of western North Carolina, and big debut for Sam Lena as well here on the Boschmer Gymnasium court. Point, Tornadoes. And that's first service from Lena is a successful one. Tornadoes now down 10-8. And Tornadoes almost able to keep that rally alive, but to no avail. Point, Owls. Back line for the Tornadoes to receive this serve from McCoy, Bailey Lance, Kylie Ketcher, and Caroline Moon. Up front for the Tornadoes, Fontana, Hoxett, and Boulay. And here comes the service from Josie McCoy. Boulay, very crafty once again. Point, Tornadoes. And McKenna Parkins now checks back in. She replaces Catcher. And Boulay coming off that winning point. Will handle the service here. Boulay leads all players with 15 assists. We'll see high assist totals from her throughout this season, I'm sure. And a finish there, count it for the Nados. Point, Tornadoes. Tornadoes now trailing by just one. Point, Tornadoes. And just like that, the Tornadoes have worked their way back into this second set. 11-11, your score all knotted up here. Tornadoes with a 1-0 lead. And the serve from Boulay. Boulay, Lance, here's Parkins. Count it. Point, Tornadoes. Timeout on the court. And timeout on the court. Tornadoes with their first lead of the second set. Now ahead 12-11. Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium on the campus of Brevard College. Tornadoes have worked their way back into this second set. 4 consecutive points here. Now leading 12-11. See if the scoring run can continue. Moon with a big attack there. Boulay digs it up. Now Lance setting up Hoxett. Point, Tornadoes. Count the point to the Tornadoes, a 5-0 scoring run. And You kind of get the feeling Tornadoes getting back in control here in this second set. (13-11) your score. Big time block there for the Nados. Fontana, also Parkins right there. 6-0 run. Point Tornadoes. Hoxett on the attack, but ends up finding net, so the 6-0 run is snapped. Point Owls. Tornadoes went in the direction of Abby Pardee, third season. Debut season for new assistant coach Eric Freed. Hoxett on the attack. Moon digs it up. Parkins then with the attack, and bit of a rally developing here as Hoxett sends it over. Attack error there. Point's going to go to the Nados. Point Tornadoes. So Ashley Hoxett will handle the service. Graduate from Rossman High School, Balsam Grove, North Carolina native. Very familiar with these mountains and volleyball in this region. Great local presence between Hoxett and Bailey Lance on this roster. Also Melanie Hoyle, another part of that senior class from nearby Silva, North Carolina. Count it for the Nados. Point Tornadoes. Well, that's one way to win a point at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Timeout on the court. And that'll bring up another timeout. Your score 16-12. And a great scoring run, an 8-1 scoring run. Credit the kill to Emma Fontana, the untraditional kill on that attack there. Well, glad you're able to join us. Just getting the fall 2024 sports season going here at Brevard College. We mentioned women's soccer, a 6-0 win last night. Men's soccer will be in action on Saturday. The men's soccer reserves team is getting things started as we speak at Islamel Family Field. Football gearing up for their season opener on Saturday, September the 14th versus Hampton Sydney. Cross country gets action going this weekend. Also, mountain biking season begins. It's an absolute loaded potato of fall sports here at Brevard College. And go to bctornadoes.com to find all your news, scores, stats, and information. And be sure to follow the Tornadoes on social media. Meanwhile, service here from Hoxett coming out of the timeout. Point Tornadoes. So count the point to the Tornadoes. Net violation apparently for the Owls. Boulay. Lance. Boulay once again. Big hit there from Wampler. Count it. Point Tornadoes. So the Hoxett service will continue, and this scoring run continues for Brevard College. Tornadoes trailed 10-6. Ace there for Hoxett. Tornadoes ace. So including that last point, a 13-2 scoring run for Brevard College. Point Owls. So 19-13 your score. Service here for Lillian DeMeglio. Jump serve handled by Lance. Attack there from Emma Fontana. Boulay now setting up Wampler the other direction, but that'll sail wide. Point Owls. Opportunity here for the Owls, but that'll sail long. Point Tornadoes. Point Tornadoes. So Bailey Lance will handle the service once again. So far this evening, Lance with an ace, also 3 assists, 15 digs. That familiar libero jersey for Bailey Lance. Point Owls. A serve from Lance. Little too much mustard on that one as it ends up long. Lance then with the dig. Attack there from Tamiki. Count it. Point Tornadoes. Tornadoes now ahead 21-15. Kylie Catcher checks in to handle the service. Tornadoes 4 points away from a 2-0 lead in sets. Catcher digs it up. Boulay setting up Wampler. Wampler then with a dig of her own. Hoxett sends it over. Here come the Owls the other way. And count it for the Owls. That's Wachacha. Point Owls. And Emma Dederick will check in. 21-16. Owls led by 4 in this set. Now trail by 5. Lance, Boulay. Wampler with a big hit, but nicely dug out by the Owls back line. Point Owls. Owls able to wrestle away back-to-back points. 21-17. Point Owls. Credit the ace to the Owls, Emma Dederick. And Dederick, her service will continue here as now it's a 3-point ball game here in this second set. Point Tornadoes. Service error as that one ends up long. Point Owls. Tornadoes 22-19, 3 points away from this potential second set victory. Eggleston with the service for the Owls. Tamicki with a big hit, dug up by Eggleston. Here's Samantha Daniels. A brilliant save there by Hoxett. The Owls are going to win this rally. Point Owls. Timeout on the court. So a timeout on the court. 22-20. NATO's on top, second set. Back at Boschford Gymnasium, action continuing between these two squads. Point Owls. And the Owls just won't go away here in this second set. Now 22-21. Trailing by as many as 6 points here in this second set. They've worked their way back. Just a 1 point differential between these two teams in crunch time here in this second set. Point Owls. And the Owls have worked their way all the way back. Now all tied up at 22. Brevard led 21-15. So a 7-1 scoring run for the visitors from Warren Wilson. Hoxett. And a big time block there from Pandolfo. And the Owls now 2 points away from a second set advantage. And we have a timeout on the court. Timeout on the court. Timeout from head coach Abby Pardee. She realizes how critical this is, as the Owls have worked their way back. Oh my. A 7-1 scoring run. The Owls have won 7 of the last 8 points. And now just 2 points away from evening things up at 1 set apiece. And the service here for Andy Eggleston. Big opportunity for Warren Wilson. Meanwhile, little room for error for the Tornadoes, now trailing 23-22. Coming out of the timeout. Moon sends it right over, an opportunity again for Warren Wilson. Moon hawks it, taps it over, very nicely done. Point, Tornadoes. Big time play by the veteran Ashley Hoxett. And we're all knotted up 23 apiece. Freshman service specialist Sam Lena checks back in. She will handle the serve here. Lena, Moon, catcher, Hoxett on the court. Also Fontana and Boulay, the setter. Credit the point there for the Nados. Point, Tornadoes. Set point, Tornadoes. So set point opportunity here. 2 straight points coming out of the timeout. Crunch time for the Nados. The service from Lena. Point, Tornadoes. And the Tornadoes win the second set, 25-23, leads 2-0. So count it there. Tornadoes able to get that final point. Hey, that's a big time response after a 7-1 scoring run by Warren Wilson. Head coach Abby Pardee calls the timeout. Tornadoes with 3 consecutive points. And Tornadoes now ahead 2-0, 25-20 in set number 1 and 25-23 in set number 2. Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium, Tornadoes lead 2-0, 25-20 in set number 1, 25-23 in set number 2. Tornadoes have been led in this contest on the offensive side by Ashley Hoxett with 7 kills, Casey Wampler with 5, Jackson Tamicki with 4, 17 assists for Izzy Boulay. Grand total of 7 service aces for the Tornadoes, led by 3 aces from Hoxett. And in the digs category, Bailey Lance leading the Tornadoes defensively with 15 digs. Josie McCoy leads Warren Wilson in the dig department with 15. 10 assists for Vera Pandolfo to go along with 9 digs. And KJ Helinski leads Warren Wilson on the attack with 8 kills. So Tornadoes looking to go up 3-2 on this young season after splitting the 4 matches at the Maryville Invitational. Liberos check into the match on both sides. Official making sure the rotation is up to snuff. Great to see some Brevard College volleyball alumni in the house, including Caitlin Presley. What a career she had in a Tornado uniform, the Brevard, North Carolina native. And we're back underway here. Warren Wilson with the opening service. Set number 3. Dug up nicely there by Moon. Here's Parkins. Boulay to Lance. Hoxett. One of the longer rallies we've seen thus far. Big hit there, dug up nicely by Boulay. Here's Moon in the finish by Moon. Point Tornadoes. Big time dig there from Boulay to keep that alive there, and then Lance setting up the freshman Caroline Moon. Hoxett keeping it alive. Lance sends it over. Point Owls. Do want to mention Brooke Merrick has entered the contest for the Tornadoes, another part of that freshman class. Just a sensational group of freshmen. Brooke out of Granbury, Texas. Point Owls. So Owls taking a 2-1 lead here early in this third set. Point Tornadoes. Tornadoes able to respond nicely. And Bailey Lance will do the honors. All tied up at 2 here in this third set. Moon. Attack there from Helinski, but point's going to go to the Nados. Point Tornadoes. Lance. 5 bounces of the volleyball, couple steps, and then a rocket serve hits net. And we'll do it all over again. Serve from Lance. And an ace. Tornadoes ace. Substitute for the Owls as Dedrick checks in. Lance able to earn her second ace of the contest, keep on adding to that career total of hers. Point Owls. Owls, meanwhile, able to earn a point of their own. Point Owls. Back-to-back points now for the Owls. All tied up at 4. And an Owls ace there gives the Owls the lead here in this third. Point Owls. Point Tornadoes. Tornadoes able to stop that 3-0 scoring run for the Owls. And Kylie Catcher checks in. She replaces McKenna Parkins, and Catcher, the service specialist, sends the Owls back on their heels. Lance. Nice attack there from Fontana, but great answer from Warren Wilson. Point Owls. A 6-5 Owls advantage here in the third set. Tornadoes up 2-0. Lance. Moon sending it over. Point Tornadoes. All knotted up at 6 as Moon with the opportunity here. Just long. Point for the Owls. Point Owls. Owls 7, Tornadoes 6. Either team able to really get a handle on this third set thus far. Here's Dedrick. Point Tornadoes. So Tornadoes able to earn the opportunity here as there's a couple shifts in personnel. Sam Lena checking in that setter position for her fellow freshman Izzy Boulay. And Lena will handle the service. Serve from Lena. Point Owls. So the Owls win the point after a little bit of deliberation from the officials. And now Izzy Boulay speaking to the official, wanting to get an explanation on that last call. Head coach Abby Pardee not happy with that decision. And the serve. Wampler, big time hit there. Big time dig for McCoy. Moon on the attack. McCoy is again there defensively. Point Owls. So Owls now ahead 9-7 here in this third set. Catcher. Attack there from Merrick. Opportunity here for the Owls. But it's one too many touches for the Owls. Point for the Nados. Point Tornadoes. So Izzy Boulay, what a start to her collegiate career. Already over the 100 assist mark for her career. Point Owls. In the first 4 matches of the season, Boulay totaled 96 assists. Didn't take her long to get over that 100 assist mark. In this, just her 5th match as a collegiate player. Service error there, point toward the Nados. Point Tornadoes. Ashley Hoxett checks back in. Casey Wampler gets a breather, and Hoxett will handle the service. Owls 10, Tornadoes 9, set number 3. Brevard would love nothing more than to take this in 3 sets. Tornadoes ace. So a Tornadoes ace there ties things up at 10. It's ace number 4 for Hoxett on the evening. Lance. Here come the Owls the other way. Daniels with the attack. Here's Moon. Dug up nicely by Boulay. Hoxett on the attack there. And a nifty decision there by Vera Pandolfo. Point Owls. And the Owls back ahead 11-10. Great work by the Owls this evening. 0-2 to start the season, but they've hung in both of the first 2 sets and doing a nice job here in set number 3. Moon has other ideas, however. Big time hit. Point Tornadoes. And we're all tied up 11-11. An auspicious number. Point, Tornadoes. So the Lance service will continue. By the way, we mentioned Lance's incredible career. She's now up to 169 service aces in that career. Point Owls. Big hit there from Parkins, but long. Point Owls. Hawks it. Beautifully done once again by Izzy Boulay. Point Tornadoes. That'll bring up Kylie Catcher. Student section ended up filling up nicely here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Point Owls. Owls able to wrestle back the serve, ahead 14-13. It'll be Elena Costangera handling the service out of Jacksonville, Florida. Point Owls. Our first look at Costangera in this contest. Point Tornadoes. So Moon will handle the service. Moon keeps it alive. Here's Wampler. Moon again keeping it alive. Lance sends it over. Another dig from Moon. Point Owls. 16-14 Owls ahead here in the third set, trailing 2-0. It'll be Emma Dedrick with the service, serving from the left side. Lance, Catcher, and Moon the back line for the NATOs. And that right side position's Emma Fontana. Point Tornadoes. 16-15 your score, and checking back in and handling the service will be Sam Lena. Point Owls. Owls 17, Tornadoes 15. I feel like the Tornadoes need to go on a bit of a run here if they want to finish this off in 3 sets. Point Tornadoes. And that's not a bad way to start a potential run, as Casey Wampler with a big hit on that left side. Izzy Boulay will handle the service. And the serve. Daniels with a hit there for Warren Wilson. Point, Tornadoes. So the Tornadoes able to tie this match up, this setup rather, 17-17. Boulay was a key part of that second set win. Tornadoes ace. And another ace there for Boulay. Big scoring run from the Nados in that second set with Boulay serving. 7-1 scoring run in total, and Tornadoes have rattled off a few points in a row here until that attack error. Point, Owls. Point, Tornadoes. Another winner there for Brevard as Hoxett checks in. Wampler checks out. Hoxett will handle the service. Tornadoes up 19-18. Credit that last kill to Brooke Merrick, the Texas native. Lance. Parkins with a big hit. Daniels sends it over. Here's Moon. Point, Owls. Those Owls defenders at the net may have made things more difficult than we realize up here for Moon. 19-19 your score, all knotted up here in the third set. Owls trying to hold on for dear life. Tornadoes trying to win this match 3-0. Point, Tornadoes. Well, there's the veteran, McKenna Parkins. We've seen that so many times. Her finding that opening in the defense. A crafty attack there from the veteran Parkins. Incredibly decorated student athlete here at Brevard College. And there's an ace from Lance. Tornadoes ace. Timeout on the court. So big time response there for the Tornadoes. Now 5 points away. Check that, 4 points away from a 3-set sweep. That's the third ace for Bailey Lance. So career numbers for Lance. She's now hit the 170 service ace mark for her career. The service ace has certainly been a big part of this Tornado offense this evening. 4 aces from Hoxett, 3 from Lance, also 3 from Boulay. And an 11th ace for the team coming from the freshman Sam Lena. Timeout on the court, and the Tornadoes will see if they can lay down the hammer here in these final moments of the third set. Lance will continue her service. We mentioned her 3 aces. She also leads Brevard with 18 digs to go along with 3 assists. Lance Serving from the left side, the libero. Point, Tornadoes. And just like that, the Tornadoes 3 points away from a match victory here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Great job sort of seizing control of this third set after this was really tight for much of it. Tornadoes ace. Timeout on the court. So a timeout for Warren Wilson, who is in that dangerous spot now as Tornadoes 2 points away from a match victory. It's been a lot of fun to get the volleyball season underway here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Special thanks to Justin Espino, producer extraordinaire. Alex Spangler working behind the scenes alongside Joseph Marvin, sports information director, handling all the statistics. Great job by the Brevard College softball team as well, working a lot of the game operations roles here for Brevard College volleyball. Team effort, cast of thousands here at Brevard College, handling things behind the scenes. Big thanks to Director of Athletics Miranda Nash, Assistant Athletic Director, Senior Woman Administrator Kristen Rosado, and the entire group at Brevard College. Service here from Bailey Lance. Point, Tornadoes. Set point and match point, Tornadoes. So match point here for the Tornadoes. Bailey Lance will once again do the honors. Al's holding on for dear life, trying to keep this point alive. Here's Moon. The rally continues. Moon digs it up. Boulay setting up Parkins. In the finish. Point Tornadoes, and the Tornadoes win. Your final score, Brevard 3, Warren Wilson 0. Brevard wins 25-20, 25-23, and 25-19. Hope to see you Tuesday when the Tornadoes are back in action right here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Thanks for joining us. Tornadoes win. So the Tornadoes with the win, a great start to this 2024 campaign. 25-20, 25-23, 25-19, your score game by game. And Brevard College able to start the home schedule 1-0, improved to 3-2 overall in the season. Warren Wilson falls to 0-3. Brevard led offensively by a real nice combination, a lot of balance on the offensive attack. Ashley Hoxett had 7 kills, Parkins had 6, also Wampler with 6, Moon with 5, Tamicki with 4, and Fontana with 4. Boulay leading the way in the assist department with 27. She also had 3 aces. Count 4 aces for Lance and Hoxett, also an ace for Lena. And Lance with 18 digs, also double-digit digs for Hoxett with 11, Moon with 14. Warren Wilson hung around in all 3 of these sets, but ultimately the Tornadoes able to pull away in crunch time. Helinski, the leading attacker for the Owls with 11. Pandolfo led the way with 13 assists in the terms of distribution, and then 20 digs leading all players. McCoy was sensational at that libero position for Warren Wilson. Well, great start to the home season for Brevard College, and the Tornadoes will be back in action right here at home 6 o'clock this coming Tuesday, September the 10th, versus Bob Jones as non-conference competition continues. Well, big congratulations to head coach Abby Pardee, assistant coach Eric Freed on this home opening win. And the Tornadoes will go back to work and gear up for the assignment on this coming Tuesday versus Bob Jones. Well, big thanks once again to producer Justin Espino, Alex Spangler, and Joseph Marvin with all the numbers. And we'll see you for another Brevard College Tornado event Saturday, men's soccer. And then we'll have the season opening Tornado Talk, the talk show for Brevard College Athletics. That'll take place on Monday night at 7 p.m. Also do want to thank everyone for coming out and supporting the Rosman High School community on this Orange Out evening. Really a great showing from the fans, and appreciate everyone's involvement there as we continue to keep Rosman High School and the memory of Jaden Ronaldo and Lane Jones in our thoughts and prayers. Well, thank you once again for joining us at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Your final score for the final time, Brevard 3, Warren Wilson 0. Tornadoes win. We'll see you next time. Go Tornadoes!